I don't know what we did in the Midwest to be so fortunate, but the eastern half of the Midwest has two awesome natural phenomena that are happening in the spring of 2024. The first was the total solar eclipse, in which part of the path of totality passed through the eastern half of the Midwest. And the second is the emergence of the periodical cicadas. So buckle up, because I'm going to share 5 facts about periodical cicadas that you might not know. The first interesting fact about periodical cicadas is that they have one of the longest lifespan of all insects. So there are 13-year and 17-year periodical cicadas. And what these cicadas do is they live underground for a majority of their life, and they actually suck liquids from the roots that are underground. And then when either 13 or 17 years hits, they climb to the surface and they begin their mating courtship, which is really noisy. And this is the part of their life that we notice the most, even though a majority of it is actually underground. So when they climb up out of the ground, they're in this little exoskeleton, and they actually climb up and they have to hatch and emerge from that exoskeleton. Sometimes you can see the slit on the back of the exoskeleton where they've actually emerged from. And then they are now a full-grown adult with wings, and they're able to fly around. So you can see they have large eyes, long wings, and they're really quite a large insect. Now, not all cicadas emerge every 13 or 17 years. There's over 3,000 different species of cicadas worldwide. There are cicadas that emerge every 2 or 5 years as well, but 13 and 17 is most notable because of the long lifespan that they have. The second interesting fact about cicadas is that emerging at once actually helps their chances of survival. So there's only so many predators, and there's only so much food that those predators can eat. So if there's a huge abundance of these cicadas, there's a higher likelihood that not all of them will be eaten, and therefore they can mate, lay eggs, and then the cycle continues. So being a periodical cicada actually helps their chances of survival. Fact number 3, these cicadas are loud. Louder than a lawnmower loud. So these male cicadas are actually calling to try and get the attention of the females for mating purposes. But collectively, they are so loud that they nearly reach 100 decibel reading, which is about the same noise level as standing 3 feet away from a running chainsaw. That is loud. Interesting fact number 4, cicadas actually have a water and bacteria repellent wing. So if you look under a microscope, a very high power microscope, you can see that cicadas have tiny spikes on their wings that help them to both repel water and bacteria. The fact that these wings can actually repel and kill bacteria has definitely piqued the interest of scientists who are now studying more about that adaptation. Interesting fact number 5 about all cicadas on this one, they have a very interesting predator called the cicada killer wasp. You might have seen this wasp around and been alarmed at how large of a wasp it is. However, we don't need to be afraid because we aren't cicadas, but cicadas should be. These cicada killer wasps will actually get a hold of the cicada, typically mid-air, sting it, and inject it with a venom that paralyzes the cicada but does not kill it. It then takes that paralyzed cicada back to its ground nest and lays a single egg inside the paralyzed cicada. Then, when the egg hatches, it is able to have a food source, which unfortunately is the still living but paralyzed cicada. Nature is brutal, but very fascinating. Now that we've learned these 5 interesting facts about periodical cicadas, you might be wondering if you are in the range of these noisemakers. Here in Jefferson County, we are not in the range of these 17-year cicadas for this year. The last time we had the emergence of the periodical cicadas was in 2014. Therefore, we should be good until 2031. So we have a little bit of time before it gets so noisy again. But if you're in the Mount Pleasant or Iowa City area, you are in the path. So in the comment section, we have a link with more information with the ranges. But fear not, our local entomologist confirmed that here in Jefferson County, our last emergence was in 2014. So we can sleep peacefully this spring. Even though we don't have the periodical cicadas here in Jefferson County this year, we do have just regular cicadas, which will be emerging. So when you are out this spring, be sure to check on the bark and the base of tree trunks for the actual exoskeletons. This is a fun little scavenger hunt or activity that you can do with your family. Looking for more facts about nature in your area or local places to explore? Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.